putting Argentina's flag back on the tuk-tuk once again.
Most travelers fly straight to Iguazu, but when you've got a tuk-tuk and a dog, you don't really go direct.
I think we've got to find more of this along our journey.
We crossed from Paraguay into Argentina at Posadas and took 4 days to reach Foz de Iguazu, camping, fishing, and slowly discovering a side of Argentina that doesn't show up on postcards.
Mate, you know we're traveling when I can't even identify what the animals even are that we're getting warned about.
This is what the journey looks like before the famous waterfalls.
In front of us is the border exit out of Paraguay. Woo. I'm stressing, ladies and gentlemen. Today is our last day in Paraguay as we cross back into Argentina. The phrase goes, you got to take one step back to go 2 steps forward. This route takes us an easier way into Brazil and also gets us to see a little bit of the North Misiones area of Argentina, which we haven't ever seen on this adventure. Plus, I've got 3 days left in Paraguay. So we've just been driving the Esplanade. It was a fantastic drive, and you can see where Paraguay and Argentina kind of cross-sect with this huge bridge across the massive river there. Amigos, donde yo salir Paraguay? Yeah, para salir para... Gracias. Qué lindo vehículo. All right, we got the verdict. Alright, we gotta get out of here. We got whistles blowing and stuff. Gracias por visitar Paraguay. Dicen. Vamos a Argentina pues, patrons. How about that? But here is the famous Rio Paraná from Paraguay to Argentina. This is a 2.5 kilometer long bridge. That's absolutely insane. Look at that. That's the line. We're officially crossed into Argentina. But we got to do all of our exit Paraguay paperwork and entry Argentina paperwork on the other side of this bridge.
¿De dónde trajiste? ¿De Japón?
Algo así. Oh, damn.
¿De España? ¿Tú eres de español?
¿Cómo sabes soy de español?
Dice, arroba España.
Eso. Everybody that's passing us has got an Argentinian number plate. The people behind us, people in front.
Fortunately, this is a long bridge because we were queued up for a long time.
They reckon no pedestrian walkers. That's all there is on this bridge.
There's a lot of vendors disobeying the signs and making the most of the stop traffic to hustle sales for food, drinks, car towels, and interestingly enough, window wipers. But specifically, just the rubber part. They're clearly making a bit of money because the bridge is becoming a dump of all the old inserts.
It's definitely crazy as well to see the difference in the horizon of Paraguay and the difference in buildings and size, and you can see how Posadas looks a lot like Buenos Aires. Being Argentina, classic, of course it is, but that's cool to see that. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Anda o no anda?
¿Cómo?
Anda.
Sí, sí, sí.
Dale. Ahí mira.
Tú decime. Ya, a la derecha. Gracias. So it's positively such a frequently crossed border that even taxis find it kind of, it's two behind me as well, in their best interest to accept jobs, charge a higher rate to cross the border, knowing they've got to cross back, right? Taking their passengers back and forth. Crazy. People that obviously, I guess if there's signs that say no walking across the bridge, you're not trying to walk. But there is a train. I don't know if that's coming from Buenos Aires or if that's a local train to ferry just pedestrians back and forth. Passport ready. Hatos. Border staff hate to see me come on such a complicated case. Sorry in advance to these poor Argentinian legends.
Having a Bolivian vehicle creates a lot more roadblocks, and we got the full run around by the customs control. The dog comes out, thorough vehicle search, and then on to sort some paperwork. Fortunately though, after a tedious 45 minutes of control points, we will let go.
See, for example, this guy's just come out from behind us. And there's so many passes through, not everybody can get checked. We just got that special treatment today, ladies and gentlemen. Like, as in they were very thorough. Very thorough, checking everything, not recording too much tonight. ¿Cómo está, amigos? Yeah, didn't want issues, but we're officially in Argentina, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. These would have been the old border officers. They're cute. Nice bathroom. Argentina, baby. Ew. Posadas. Let's see what Misiones province has to offer. I've never been here, this north in Argentina before.
With no sure idea that we were going to get let in the country the first try, we hadn't organized any accommodation.
What do we do when we come to Argentina, Miss Putz? We're gonna go to the first bakery in sight. We're gonna lunch here as well. They got some desserts and things, so we're gonna get a few different things to try. And they let you in the bakery, Miss Putz. Con alfajor de maicena.
All I knew was that our rushed exit out of Paraguay for visa reasons had me feeling like I needed to stop here in Posadas to rest and get to know the city with Patty.
Top 5 alfajores en mi vida. Qué bueno. Qué lindo argentino.
Well, we're gonna keep this quick. Patty's still sleeping. There's a couple cats out here, but we've got to do it justice. Putting Argentina's flag back on the tuk-tuk once again. We've done it numerous times, so we won't drag it out. Paraguay was great. Let's see what Argentina's got in store for us in Misiones province on route to Foz de Iguazu. We've only got about 320 kilometers through this country on our route to Brazil, where we're gonna see the Foz de Iguazu waterfalls. Very famous, very huge. Cannot wait for that. Really never thought we'd be back here again.
Having fun on these runs, eh, Putters? And this is Argentina, eh? Argentina's side of the river. Looks almost identical to Paraguay. Same, but different. That's pretty cool. Posadas.
We changed up Airbnbs to edit while we waited out the rain coming through. Patty enjoyed her treats for surviving the thunderstorms which she hates, and before we knew it, we were back out on Argentina's roads once again.
Heck yeah, little corner store raid. 2 empanadas de pollo and like a tarte de jamón y queso. And we've got Pats on the trots. Where you go? There you go. Down the hill. Just an open space for us to have a bit of lunch. No tripod, in the gob. 6 out of 10. 8 out of 10. It's all cost $3.50 USD. You trying to get comfy here? You're so funny, Miss Putz. Check it out. We got ourselves pulled up in like a pretty epic spot here. Where are we, my friend? ¿Dónde estamos?
Misiones, Gobernador Roca.
Es una tienda de mate y también tiene choripán. Like that's what I'm getting right here. So cuando estás en Argentina, aprovechar con la parrilla, ¿viste? They've got a great selection of mates, just a bit of everything. Even out front, they've got all lined up here, different grills, parillas, they call it, or parrilla if you're in Buenos Aires. They really put a sh on the double L sound. So that's why my Spanish is a bit wonky, because I had stayed in Buenos Aires for so long. Look at this, man. This is just culture. So there's a variation of wood and also pumpkin skin mates. These would be the pumpkin skins. There's even the smashes, I would call them, to do all these herbs and sauces. That's the main uses. But unfortunately, the more you use these instruments, the better the flavor profile becomes. It just, with age, it only gets richer. Tenés un gran selección. Ah, qué rico. Wow, look at that. Qué riquísimo. Gracias. Oh, we'll finish the tour after this. We've got to eat it while it's hot. How good's that, man? Literally chorizo adentro del pan. We've got the sauces. Oh, nice, man. Paraíso en el medio de nada, me encanta. And this is the garnish. Like this garnish, the flavors in there. It's got a bit of balsamic vinegar, cebolla, onion, and tomato. Cheers, legends. We're back in Argentina. Oh, that's so good. Primero choripán de Argentina hace un año, ¿viste? Me encanta. Even like fresh honey, which is not everywhere accessible. Obviously, just like there is in Australia, you've got to go to kind of an artisanal place like this. We've got a lot of great stuff. My whole time being in Argentina previously, I was always kind of searching for a knife in its sheath to use for cooking, and sometimes we go to Airbnbs and there's not even a knife in the kitchen. So I like to be pretty self-sufficient, and buying like a nice knife that would be a reminder and a little souvenir of Argentina is really cool. I think I found a knife here as well, which is really nice. Look at that, that's beautiful. Comes with its own little sheath to keep it safe, keep protected. And this is a wood little handle. Very perfect size, from cutting meat to cutting vegetables. Everything that we could need for it. That's awesome. And it's like 20 US dollars. Perfect. Gracias. Textbook day in the tuk-tuk. Pulled up to a gym and they got Brazilian funk playing. What a time. Just gonna get changed and get a pump in. We're doing it. Look at this guy. Check that out. That's a sick shot. Un gusto, amigo. That is awesome. También con el perro, bien amado. ¿Cómo está, amigo? ¿Todo bien?
¿Cómo anda, amigo? ¿Bien?
Muy bien.
Era la parte de atrás del coche.
Qué bueno. Qué lindo. Pretty cool, man. They said there used to be a bigger truck and they converted it to a car. So they're just Argentinian legends, locals that are from Puerto Rico or have just arrived to. Good people. This is hopefully our camping spot for the night. Right next to the river and in the nature. Look at that, legends. About to cut up the steak with the new knife. Life's good. And what's the pater saying? Hey? I've just been letting her rest since there's a lot of mosquitoes out here and she's had a big day. We'll get steak. You want steak? Sit. Get down. Oh, you go the full way. Happy paters? Boy, that's a big boy. I'm just gonna chat to these lads here about the fishing conditions tomorrow, buddy.
Nosotros no estamos pescando ya porque hay mucha gente ahora.
Ah, ahora,
sí,
ahí,
sí.
mucha gente.
Sí.
¿Y cómo va a ser a las 6, las 7 en la mañana?
Puede ser bueno.
Mejor?
Sí.
Okay. Good night, legends. Life's pretty good. We ain't complaining, eh? That freedom. Getting ready for bed. It's hot. It's hot as heck. What have we got here on the Aussie Espanol YouTube channel? Quick sip of the mate. The best thing about Argentinians being such nocturnal creatures is last night apparently it was packed, and this morning there's absolutely nobody. I've heard from some locals that this prawn lure that we've got is going to be good for catching dorado. They say dorado sound like a pretty big fish. So we'll see how we go. Job done. Let's give it a whirl. Just relaxing, stopping, slowing down. No pressure on driving too far today. There's never pressure on driving too far any day. How good is this? And I really love lure fishing because you're always doing something. You have to actively be fishing. You see, I'm reeling it in and I'm saying I am the prawn. What would a prawn do? I'm gonna move like a prawn, sneeze like a prawn, feel like a prawn. I am the prawn. Well, I think we well and truly just lost our spot. There's a neutral motor revving a bunch in it. That's cool, that's cool. It was a great time. I think we're gonna get back to Pat's, clear up before this rain comes so nothing gets wet, and send it out on the road. Right. Okay, okay. Oh, you're happy to see me? You're happy to see me? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's always good to see you. You just sleeping in the tent? Or you sleeping in the tent, Miss Potts Freak? That was the humble abode. Or the quinchos, they call it. Each one has the tables, chairs, barbecue, tap, and sink, and also access to the communal bathrooms, which is just there. And there was a lot of families that kind of come in late last night and did a whole barbecue. If you didn't already have a barbecue, this is like a nice place to come. You'd probably spend like $4 US renting out the site for the evening, and then you can basically have a party out of it. More people come with their boats. That is pretty clean. What are you saying about the day, Miss Potts? Argentina's treating us well. $6 US 50 to pass the night there. Another day, another couple kilometers towards Alaska. Here we are entering El Dorado. This is probably a great depiction of 95% of towns that we see on our travel in all countries. Sometimes you got some quality stores, other times you just got some chalk drawn up on a board and they're selling what they've got. Usually stuff that doesn't go out of date too quick, and they make buy, right? I'm not trying to bundle whole of Latin America in one, but 95% I safely could say probably could be. And I like it. I like it. I very much like it. And this is Main Street. You got the traffic light. That's a local bakery on the side of the road there. Some other things, and that's like your local dealership selling random cars. There's not even a name on that dealership. But obviously the culture changed, food changed, kind of the intricacies and languages changed. And there's a lot of beauty in all of that. Discovering, living it, and seeing it out. We travel slow in this vehicle, and we get to see it all in pretty good detail.
She knows that I'm sitting right there with my book and she wants to be next to me. She just made a little bed.
What's the Padres saying? Look at the big smile. That's such a big smile. Conduciendo todo el día. ¿Hay un lugar por ahí para pasar la noche, tal vez?
Una rotita, hay una limpiecita.
Ah, ya, ya, que puedo usar para... No voy a hacer fuego, nada. Relax. ¿Cómo se llama esa?
Boda.
¿Boda?
Boda.
Pati, relax. Gracias, amigo, gracias. Qué bueno. Patus. Relax. Then we got dogs entering the tuk-tuk, so she got a bit protective, but those are some fishermen that said I can pass the night at the river. I'm gonna be fishing again, and I love that. Same lure and fishing rod setup, and this time it's more just moving it around in a circle, trying to avoid any snags. Hello, buddy. You coming to say hello? You're just back and forth in the tuk-tuk. So we're just pretty much swaying the rod around, making it look like a prawn inside of a creek. We'll see if we can catch something as big as that guy's fish. It's a stinker, hey, Miss Putz. Just the essentials. We're leaving Argentina very soon. And shout out Amanda, I do love this shadow bar. So bought 2 kilos of it, but this is what's gonna be getting me out of bed in the morning, I think. A bit of ginger ale combustible. So they gave us 3 kilos for free, look at that. So we're just about to crack that open and smack it in there for you. There's parts bit of din. So this is a first. Very rarely do I get rained on. I've just got endured draped down my back, and Patty's in the tent there. So we just didn't have anything out of the tuk-tuk because this weather in this region, it's like that. It can just be looking sunny and then out of nowhere start to rain. So right, legends, get it while it's hot, eh? Textbook day, wild camping, just how we wanted it to be. I've absolutely perfected this because one of the best.
It's never usually good.
How you doing, Miss Potts?
Patty's happy. Patty's so happy. Patty's so happy. Good morning, Patters. Good morning, Patters. This is the face of, I'm gonna get zoomies soon. You're gonna give me zoomies. Hey. Today's the day we get to Puerto Iguazu, which is the Argentinian town before the Brazilian border of Foz de Iguazu.
She loves it, man.
Right, so first impressions of the ginger ale mate. Astonishingly, it's very similar to the actual drink. It doesn't have such a soda aftertaste, which I was really looking for, when the majority of it is yerba.
You know, stumbling and bumping into hurdles and brick walls and we'll give up. But if we can make our cognitive dissonance, our physical dissonance comes in.
What I've noticed is, generalized sense, and you spend a lot of time. What's the kind of cultural temperature at the moment for Gen Z?
I think that there is a lot of...
Oh my goodness. We bought breakfast, a little couple snacks, and looking to just stop off somewhere to eat it, and we're definitely not stopping off here. An army of dogs. Yeah, we bought some yogurt. Hey! Bro actually bit the tuk-tuk. That's crazy. This is a weird place. I don't know if it's open. There's a helicopter in the distance and some sign flexing 63 days without an accident. Where are we? We just turned off the highway, found another little logging facility. This has been kind of either sides of the highway for the last couple of days of driving. It's made just really accessible wild camping spots. That's why last night I didn't have an issue in thinking we wouldn't find something. Unfortunately, there's also just a dump. Break, good girl. You get the Patters. This is the breakfast haul. $6 US. Banana and acai yogurt. Some granola. Fat packet of sultanas. Not tried this before, but like a pan dulce, which is like a panettone. Very popular in Europe. Don't know if it's in kind of the US, but in Australia it's kind of a foreign concept. A sweet bread, usually with fruits, but this one is caramel chopped chips. That's how it comes. Big freaking fat muffin. Ooh. It's like a solid 7 out of 10. So that was just Wanda, meaning that we're just now like 50 kilometers from the border with Brazil and the famous waterfalls of Foz de Iguazu. we pulled the drone in just before this rain started. It was a rain shower and it kind of still is. Huge dam where you can't even see the bottom over there, and the water's right up to where we are driving across the bridge here. So this massive amount of water has all come off the beautiful famous waterfalls of Cataratas. The scenery's really changed throughout the entire episode, and I think mainly a lot of viewers are probably, when they think of Brazil, think of big trees, mainly because of the Amazon, greenery, wet climate, a lot of rain. As we get closer to the Brazilian border, literally just an hour away now, it's remaining true. That's what we're seeing. We are still very far from the Amazons, and this nature is being brought about by the river. Yeah, I thought where we were camping last night would have been in jaguar territory, but I never want to ever talk up a scenario for YouTube entertainment if I'm talking nonsense. Foz de Iguazu is a ghost town. It's a Sunday, and Argentinians love to chill out on a Sunday, but it's also nothing to what I was expecting. With it being such a touristic place, I really thought it would just be so set up for tourism, but it's just a bunch of locals living it. But anyway, we made it. We're gonna try to find some lunch to see if there's anything open on a Sunday, but other than that, we're probably just gonna call it there. Thanks for joining us. We did Argentina all in a single entire episode, just a regular, typical shenanigans on a three-wheel dream. What a day, what a day. Anything to add, Miss Putz? Like a live band, yeah, live. Yo, I didn't expect it to be so big. This is just 10 US dollars in a very touristic town. Like, we're in the center now. That's decent. And the nachos are like free. That's ridiculous.
Next week on the Thrill Dream, we visit the world famous Cataratas waterfalls and explore Puerto Iguazu before preparing to cross into Brazil. And trust me, nothing prepares you for this place. The hikes, the views, the sheer amount of water going over these cliffs. It's on a completely other level that I didn't see coming.